Look, where is everyone? It's the Mid-Autumn Festival, but the supermarket is empty. Normally, this place would be packed during the holidays. Maybe everyone is shopping online now, not even stepping outside. I just came out to buy some steamed buns, otherwise I wouldn't have come out in this heat. Maybe it's because the kids are back in school, so fewer families are out shopping. But just because kids are back in school, does that mean parents stop eating and drinking? Or maybe after paying for school fees, no one has money left to spend, and people are unwilling to buy anything. It's really tough for physical stores this year. Business is hard, and no one wants to spend money. Even I don't want to spend much. I'm only buying a steamed bun for dinner. I won't even splurge on snacks. Physical stores are really going under. Given the economic downturn, this year's Mid-Autumn Festival hit many businesses hard. Some once bustling wholesale markets and shopping streets are now empty. In the video, this woman visiting the supermarket laments how deserted it is, as if everyone agreed not to come out and shop. A wholesale shop owner also complained, "What kind of holiday is this? The times have changed. It's already past 4 p.m. and not a single customer has come by. In past years, by this time, most of the stock would have been sold. Now there's not even a shadow of a person."
Just look at the current state of the wholesale market on Mid-Autumn Festival. It's unbelievable. No one is buying anything, and no one is stocking up. So many shops have closed. It really shows just how tough the real economy is right now. Some are transferring ownership. Others are putting up for rent signs, and many have shut down completely. Walking down this shopping street, most stores are either up for transfer or for rent. It's hard to believe this is the economic situation of a top-tier city. It really makes you wonder how difficult things have been for physical businesses and factories these past 2 years. It's people like us, the workers, who are suffering. Soon there may be no jobs left for us. This shopping street used to be so lively, and I thought the economy of a first-tier city wouldn't be this bleak. But it turns out the whole country is the same. No one can escape the changes of the times.
During the Mid-Autumn Festival, the most affected industry was mooncake sales.
Just look at the business this Mid-Autumn Festival. It's so dead it makes you want to cry.
A handmade mooncake shop owner mentioned that his sales only amounted to 13 yuan for the day.
If I had known it would be like this, I wouldn't have made mooncakes this year. It's so frustrating. The festival is just days away, and I can't sell these mooncakes. They're just sitting here. Today, I only sold 13 yuan's worth. Is this what a holiday is supposed to be like? A few years ago, I would have made at least 6,000 to 7,000 yuan by now. Today, it's just 13 yuan.
Even the beautifully packaged mooncake gift boxes in malls aren't selling, a female store owner remarked. "Let me take you on a tour of Bairong Mall before this year's Mid-Autumn Festival. Usually, at this time of year, the place would be packed, so full of customers you couldn't move. The vendors would be so busy they didn't even have time to eat, and sometimes they'd fight over deliveries. But this Mid-Autumn Festival is so strange. It's one thing if the liquor isn't selling, but now even the mooncakes aren't moving. You could say liquor doesn't sell because it's overpriced, but mooncake prices aren't high this year. Look, there are more vendors selling mooncakes than there are customers buying them. Is it that people just don't want to give mooncakes and liquor for the holiday anymore?" Due to the impact of widespread consumption downgrades, many mooncake factories were operating at half capacity before the Mid-Autumn Festival because of the low number of orders. Some mooncake factories even adopted a 3 days on, 1 day off schedule. Supermarkets, restaurants, and online platforms all appeared unusually quiet. The topic of mooncakes not selling repeatedly trended on social media. According to reports from multiple Chinese media outlets, in previous years before the Mid-Autumn Festival, major brands like Starbucks and Haagen-Dazs would set up booths outside malls to sell or exchange mooncakes, but this year, physical stores were deserted. Even supermarkets increased their discount offers, starting to promote mooncakes at reduced prices 2 weeks in advance. Despite these efforts, mooncake sales still did not pick up. Reports also mentioned that in regions like Beijing, Shanghai, and Sichuan, the mooncake markets were largely ignored, except for brands like Beijing Da Xiangchun, which still saw bulk sales. Others only experienced sporadic individual sales, with business far worse than in previous years. Some store employees revealed that in past years, group orders for mooncakes were abundant, with 400 boxes sold from just 2 orders in a week. But this year, they had yet to receive a single group order. Even mooncakes from 5-star hotels in Hangzhou faced severe unsold stock issues. According to data from the Chinese Bakery and Confectionery Industry Association, in 2023, China's mooncake production was 320,000 tons, with sales reaching 22 billion yuan. However, for this year's Mid-Autumn Festival, production is estimated at around 300,000 tons, with sales expected to fall below 20 billion yuan, at least a 2 billion yuan decline from last year. On September 17th, a mooncake seller on social media shared in a video that this has been the worst year in over 10 years of selling mooncakes. She said, "There are still very few people buying mooncakes. My sales on September 15th were 5,700 yuan, and on September 16th they dropped to 3,600 yuan, getting worse by the day. I stocked up 120,000 yuan worth of mooncakes, but I've only made 68,000 yuan back so far. Nearly half of the stock remains unsold. I never imagined sales would be this bad. It's so worrying. I can't even return the unsold mooncakes to the manufacturer because I paid in cash. Who am I supposed to give all these unsold mooncakes to? I just don't understand. Are people no longer eating mooncakes? Are people no longer giving gifts to maintain connections?" Additionally, due to the economic downturn, corporate gift-giving has almost disappeared this year, especially in industries like real estate, construction, building materials, and finance. It seems that this year, these sectors have realized that gifting doesn't help with business anymore. Some companies used to purchase around 20,000 boxes of mooncakes for gifting to partners, but this year, without the funds, they stopped gifting mooncakes altogether. As a result, industry experts are calling this the coldest Mid-Autumn Festival in history. Some netizens even believe it's a sign of the impending era of mass bankruptcies. In China, mooncakes have never been the main focus of gift-giving in workplace and official circles. They are usually given alongside Maotai liquor or Zhonghua cigarettes, or paired with gift cards. Recently, brands like Maotai and Wu Liangye have seen price drops, with Feiqian Maotai falling to as low as 2,350 yuan per bottle. The Chinese liquor market has hit its coldest point in a decade, which has naturally diminished the motivation to purchase mooncakes as well. Besides unsold mooncakes, affordable and 1 yuan mooncakes have become hot topics among consumers. Merchants believe these terms are key to attracting buyers. The China Bakery and Confectionery Industry Association also mentioned that according to their research, high-end mooncake gift boxes priced over 500 yuan have mostly disappeared from the market, while 1 yuan mini mooncakes have unexpectedly become very popular. One netizen posted on Weibo saying that his company gave everyone 1 yuan mooncakes as a benefit for the Mid-Autumn Festival. After trying them, he found that their taste wasn't much different from the expensive versions. On Chinese e-commerce platforms, the top-selling items are various types of 50-gram 1 yuan mooncakes. A sales representative from a food factory in Jiangsu confirmed that 1 yuan mooncakes are indeed selling very well, with many companies buying them in bulk to distribute as employee benefits. TV producer Li Jun stated on New Tang Dynasty's Elite Forum that this year's Mid-Autumn mooncake sales are the worst in the past 20 to 30 years. According to monitoring data of fast-moving consumer goods, mooncake sales dropped by 45% in the month leading up to the Mid-Autumn Festival. The worst hit were corporate gift boxes, with very few companies making group purchases for client gifting. On the other hand, mooncakes priced below 10 yuan saw a 36% increase in sales. This indicates that while people still want to celebrate the holiday, they don't have the money to buy expensive mooncakes. Coupled with China's ongoing anti-corruption campaigns and the wave of company closures, people are reluctant to give gifts, and even if they wanted to, recipients are also wary of accepting them. American economist Davey Huang identified 3 main reasons for the mooncake market's struggles. First, in the past, the government, state-owned enterprises, and public institutions would distribute mooncakes to employees during the Mid-Autumn Festival, but this practice has significantly decreased in recent years due to anti-corruption efforts, budget tightening, and the collapse of government finances. Second, the poor economic conditions have severely affected private companies, leading to a sharp reduction in intercompany gift-giving and employee benefits, which has further reduced mooncake sales. Lastly, on the consumer side, unemployment rates are high, and many people are dealing with wage arrears or debt from mortgages and car loans, leaving little room for non-essential spending. The decline in China's retail sales isn't limited to mooncakes. As one Chinese blogger described, the current situation is that no one is buying houses, gold, jays, or rosewood furniture, high-end cigarettes and liquor aren't selling, and now even mooncakes are being neglected. Data from Chinese media outlet Caixin showed that the total retail sales of consumer goods in August dropped by 0.1%, reversing from previous growth and falling 0.28 percentage points below the figure from the previous month. This result was also lower than market expectations. In a recent survey by Caixin of 15 domestic and international institutions, the average prediction for the year-on-year growth rate of retail sales in August was 2.8%, but the reality was a decline. By consumption type, retail sales of goods in August saw a year-on-year growth rate decline of 0.8 percentage points. Among essential goods, grain, oil, and food consumption increased by 0.2% year-on-year, while traditional Chinese and Western medicine consumption fell by 1.5%. Upgraded consumption categories remained weak. Cosmetics consumption growth was flat compared to the previous month, while gold and jewelry consumption fell by 12%, increasing the decline by 1.6 percentage points, marking the lowest level since February 2023. Additionally, clothing, footwear, and hat consumption fell by 3.6%, and consumption of oil and other resources also saw a decline in year-on-year growth. Chinese netizens widely believe that China has already entered a debt crisis, with deflation and weak consumer spending being clear indicators. The lower-than-expected consumption during the Mid-Autumn Festival once again highlights the increasing severity of China's economic challenges. It's not just the physical economy that's been hit by the crisis. Even online shopping, which once undermined traditional businesses, is now struggling. On September 19th, Zhang Dayi, co-founder of Ren Holding and one of China's first internet celebrities, posted a long message on Weibo to celebrate the 10th anniversary of her online store, My Happy Wardrobe. She announced that the anniversary will also mark the store's closure. In her post, Zhang mentioned, "After going public in 2019, I felt like I had already exhausted all my energy. I was completely worn out. During the development of the store, I went through a period where I wanted to switch platforms but didn't dare to. Now I'm planning to indefinitely delay new product launches, essentially closing the store. This decision is meant to align with market trends and help me search for the next development goal." In 2014, Zhang partnered with Ren Holding's founder, Feng Min, to launch the Taobao store My Happy Wardrobe. That same year, it generated over 100 million yuan in sales, making it one of the top women's fashion stores on Taobao. In 2015, during Singles Day, it became the only influencer store to make it to the platform-wide women's fashion rankings. By Singles Day 2016, the store broke records, becoming the top women's fashion store across all platforms in just 4 minutes, with single-day sales surpassing 100 million yuan. Zhang earned the title of Taobao's top influencer. At the peak of her career, she made 300 million yuan a year from the store. However, even this once highly successful online store has not escaped the downturn of the economy. Currently, Zhang's Taobao store, My Happy Wardrobe, has 12.4 million followers, with over 90,000 monthly sales. But compared to its earlier success, the store's performance has plummeted. Many netizens commented that Zhang's decision to close the store was due to the economic downturn and declining sales. Even the models in her store were gradually replaced, and the business could no longer stay afloat. Now, with people having little money, even the convenience of online shopping can't attract consumers. As the saying goes, even a clever housewife can't cook without rice. E-commerce, including Douyin and Taobao, is facing tough times. The CCP's recent acknowledgement of the deflation dilemma confirms that netizens' concerns were not baseless. At the Bund Summit in Shanghai on September 6, former governor of the People's Bank of China, Yi Gang, stated that China must focus on resisting deflationary pressure. He emphasized the need for proactive fiscal policies and stable monetary policies to stimulate economic growth. Weak domestic demand and increasing deflationary pressure have long been sensitive topics avoided by officials. Yi's remarks finally brought China's deflation problem into the open. Recently, a flood of videos explaining deflation has appeared across various Chinese video platforms, slowly shifting public awareness. In one highly popular short video, Guan Qingyou, president of the China Financial Research Institute, advised Chinese citizens, Try not to lose your job, find work quickly if you do, spend as little money as possible, and don't mistake the benefits of the era for your own abilities. Search records on the short video platform Douyin also show that terms like China officially acknowledges deflation and best ways for citizens to combat deflation have gained significant attention from netizens. Many Chinese bloggers speculate that the authorities may have loosened internet censorship to allow scholars and the public to directly confront the issue of deflation. There's also speculation that the government's response to deflation may already be in the works. However, several overseas economists expressed skepticism in interviews with Voice of America. They are not optimistic about China's deflation situation. Based on the Chinese Communist Party's past actions, even if the government introduces policies to address deflation, it may not be enough to save the current economic situation. Assistant researcher at the First Research Institute of the Chenghua Institution for Economic Research in Taichung, Wang Guocheng, noted that concerns about deflation in China emerged 2 or 3 years ago when the money supply was growing by double digits, but prices were not increasing in step. Over the past year, China's Consumer Price Index, CPI, has grown by less than 1% each month, clearly indicating that China is under the shadow of deflation. While prices for major goods like houses and cars have fallen, the prices of essential goods have been rising since July. This includes cheap staples like cola, instant noodles, and pickled mustard, known as the poor man's trio, which have all seen price increases. The fact that basic necessities are becoming more expensive while the broader economy stagnates reflects the stagflation that is making life difficult for ordinary citizens. Wang explained that this phenomenon is related to many consumers downgrading their purchases, driving up demand and prices. In addition, local governments, in an effort to increase tax revenues, have imposed new fines and public service fees, indirectly raising manufacturing and transportation costs, which businesses have passed on to consumers. Beyond fees, the rising costs of public services like water, electricity, and public transportation are also likely contributing to the increase in basic commodity prices. Sun Mingde, director of the Economic Forecasting Center at the Taiwan Institute of Economic Research in Taipei, believes that China's most severe economic problem comes from the real estate sector, which accounts for 30% of the economy. He also noted that the CCP has not proposed any clear bailout policies in the announcements from its 20th Central Committee's third plenary session. This suggests that the government does not intend to introduce short-term stimulus measures as it has in the past. However, whether any eventual policies will be effective remains questionable. If this continues, China's future economic outlook may be in serious trouble.